thank you for joining me today. I'm sitting here today with Robert Brands. He's currently an innovation coach, and he's writing a great book, and I'm excited to be a friend of Robert's for a long time. He and I go way back. But one of the reasons we're talking to Robert today is because of his experience at a company called AirSpray. Many of you are familiar with AirSpray, especially if you have kids, but if you wash your hands, I'm sure you'll be very familiar with AirSpray. Robert has an exciting story about how he helped build that company. And one of the things we're here to talk to him about is the lessons he learned, the pain points that he went through, and really get a sense from him as a CEO who's really scaled a business on what it takes to scale that business. And he's going to share some of those lessons with you. Hi, Robert. How you doing today?
Great. How are you, Robert?
Very good. Good to talk to you. Robert, why don't you start off giving us a little history, just a brief high-level background just to establish your pattern and how you got to be the AirSpray president CEO.
Sure, I'd be happy to. Originally, I'm Dutch, came to the States in 1982, and really worked in a variety of marketing and innovation roles with Philips Lighting, with Sylvania Lighting, and later with the Kohler Company in plumbing, where I was the VP of marketing. So I've always been involved in new product development, process development, ideation, etc. Then in 1998, I got a call back from AirSpray, who I had worked for in the mid 80s in sales, and they were looking for a president. They were just going public at that time, and they were trying to get me back in the company. It was a very small company at that time. We just had a typewriter and carbon paper down here in Florida. It was incredible. But I needed to set up a sales network, open the first plant, and really develop the sales. And that was in 1998 that I joined them.
Excellent. Tell me about when you were at AirSpray. What was the growth pattern like? I really want to establish a baseline for the folks watching. You said typewriter and copy paper, and then where did that go and how many years?
Yeah. Well, I came on board in 1998. We had just gone public in the Netherlands. I was president of the U.S. operation, and our initial goal and our goal to the analyst and to the market was to do at least one new product per year. We launched in 1998 the first initial foamer, which is the instant foaming hand soap pump. And we started with sales of about 6 million in 1997 and grew it to about 70 million by 2006. We really delivered double-digit profitable growth year on year, and profits grew from about 1 million to about 6 million in 2006. Wow. What was remarkable about the growth is that we really helped our customers to go from product line or product segment to product segment. So you have to imagine we got our first launch with Salon Selective in the hair care category. Very quickly, Unilever followed with Pond's in skincare. Right after that life cycle was followed by hand soap, foaming hand soap. You all know the Dial and the Bath & Body Works foam. So that helped us really to create life cycle upon life cycle and dealing with a tremendous amount of growth. In units, we grew from probably 10 million units to about 250 million units annually by 2006.
Wow, that's amazing growth. Do you have an example there of one of the pumps sitting around your desk somewhere just to show people what we're talking about?
If I can get it in the camera.
Absolutely.
You might recognize this, and if I can do this properly, it's instantaneously. I remember a nice story of the previous CEO who tried to demonstrate this on CNBC, and he was like outside of the camera box. But it's a great product. It's easy to use, very recognizable, and I think part of our success was that the foam was really the ultimate medium that the consumers wanted. They want soap, they want foam. You didn't want liquid soap that you have to activate. So the popularity grew, obviously among kids and adults, and we made really a great ride.
Yeah, absolutely. My kids won't know anything but that. You know what I mean? That type of pump. It's just such a great innovation.
Nice.
Let's dive in. When you're growing triple digits every single year, over the course of 7-8 years, growing from 6 million to 70 million, that's just significant. Were there any inflection points along the way where you really had to step back and say, we got to do things differently?
Yeah, I think actually I can think of two very specific ones. One was the company AirSpray in 1998 was still a very small company. People were responsible for their area. We met around the coffee table to make decisions and make things happen. They would have happened by the next day. We were fast-moving, entrepreneurial. So one of the first things that had to happen is we had to really create a process of innovation. And with our commitment to the outside world of doing at least one new product per year, as a public company, that you got to take very serious, because if you fail, the stock price will hurt.
Right.
The value of your company will hurt. So the first thing we did and we changed was to really go with a real systematic process approach. We had a monthly new product development meeting, which I would chair. We had set up a process where you basically had your ideation first, your product development, your prototyping, you proved it out, your costing, your business case, and then you basically scaled it up and introduced it. And that was all done sort of loosely by its own success and the demand of the customers that it was happening well and spontaneous. But it had to go in a structured approach, otherwise you never start developing your product for 2 or 3 years from now that you really need to do, because you cannot design a plastic pump and create the manufacturing tools within a year. It's an 18 months process. So the key thing was really the process approach and a process implementation. That was the first one. The second one, I would say, is the scaling, where we went from a small entrepreneurial company with a few individuals to a larger company due to its size and tremendous growth in volume. And we realized that instead of talking to individuals, we were really needed to communicate with departments. And that's a whole different level, because now multiple people needed to know. It wasn't just the technical director at the coffee table in the morning, but it was his department that needed to know. So we really struggled through a period, I would say, where we went from individual contributors and individual people who made it happen to departments, and where we had to deal with the communications overall.